And audio check. Audio check? I have no idea. I haven't even got my laptop volume on. That's why. Audio check is complete. And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another stream and a brand new commentary actually. Because, yeah, I'm now a commentator for XCL. So, Xbox Community League. Welcome to the Rookie Series, where I will be your commentator tonight. Please do just bear with me, as I do have everything still a little bit to learn on this new game. So, yeah, please do be patient with me, as we're going to try find who's going to come across the line next. Oh, there we go. There we go, we got it. Camera select, where's... Okay. Okay, that is very different to the F1 game. Okay. Yeah, okay, so... Camera select, okay. Right. Please do bear with, like I said, I'm still getting used to this, but I'm going to use this little bit of time at the end of free practice to, figure everything out as we now look through the drivers on everything that is happening. As I'm going to get that thing back up top once again. My apologies. Camera type. There we go. There we go. That's what we like to see. We like to see offboards. We like to see the offboards. There we go. Right, we got it. We got it sorted. Let's go. As I will just let them know that we are live, considering that, yeah. Should probably do it as qualifying now gets underway. So, of course, this is my first ever time doing GT commentary. So, yeah. As we are going to see who is going to be the first out on track. As for some reason it takes a very long time to do that, as for some reason it has glitched on my end and got rid of the thing. Well, this ain't the best first impressions, is it? Right, bear with, guys. My apologies. Running into a few technical... Okay, there we go. We seem to have got the technical issues sorted out, as there we go. For some reason it was being really weird on my end, so that's fun. As we're going to try find who is going to be the first to come across the line. I believe it's the 161. With a lot of drivers on the track. There we go. Alpi, of course I'm new here. Hello, D Tricky. If you would like to give any advice, that would be greatly appreciated, how to sort this thing out, how to get back on everything, because I'm very used to the F1 game. I'm still trying to get used to this, so I'm going to try not botch it. I'm going to do my best not to botch it, but any advice would be very grateful, as currently Alpi going around the track, number 50 according to that, but yeah, it's weird. I guess I'll get used to it, as he's currently on a qualifying lap. 12 minutes left in qualifying. Of course, that will give you the best chance at the start for the overall race in the Lamborghini. So it will be overall quite interesting to see what happens, as of course my first time here, so please do go light on me. So it will be quite interesting to see what will happen overall, and so I can get a better understanding. D Tricky, thank you for the follow, and we're going to try and get underway as 161 coming through the Lesmos. Lesmo 1 and 2, of course, as you now head down this very long straight. A lot faster in a Formula 1 car than what I'm used to, but here in a GT series, they're not as fast, but they also don't have as much downforce, meaning that through Ascari, you can take it practically flat out in a Formula 1 car. In a GT car, not so much, but nice and smooth through Ascari he goes. And we'll have to see what the Alpi in the Lamborghini can do as he's going to come around the final corner, of course called Parabolica, or whatever it's called in the modern day. And it's going to be quite interesting to see what lap time he will complete, as he's going to come across the line just about now to set the running time of a 1 minute 48.307. That is the time to be set by the Lamborghini, as everybody coming up in behind him is either over 5 tenths or near enough 2 seconds off. Jeez. I was gonna see who is next across the line. I had the 296 there. We'll say on. We will watch Pat Winner come across the line, see what he can do, as he will only go P8 with being 2 seconds off the pace here in qualifying. Of course, in qualifying in a GT car, unlike Formula 1, you don't go back in, you don't fuel up again, you don't re-put new tyres on. GT, you want to keep on going round and round and round and round. Bulbasaur, honestly, I'm just going to call him by the usernames because it makes my life 10 times easier. Also, yeah, if any of you guys know how to get this screen off like this, where I can change cameras and all that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Oh, Keelosaur. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. As he is now, speaking of the man, he is coming down towards Ascari right now. And it will be, I believe I was 94 who just got up into P3, setting a lap time, but he is still over a second off the pace. So Alpi here in the Rookie Series making quite a mark here in Monza. Of course, I'm not even going to try say the proper pronunciation of the Monza circuit, because I know I will absolutely butcher it. As just do ignore like the minor silence, as I'm currently just looking up how to change this camera, because honestly it's quite awkward. Yeah, it is quite awkward, so my apologies. As ACC, please make it more obvious for us console users what to do to change the camera. Also, I just realised you can do that here in this game. You can just teleport back to the pit lane. I am not used to that. That's going to take me a minute to get used to. As Alpi currently just going through the Lesmo corners, still on pole position. So the big question is anybody going to be able to beat him, as Bulbasaur has gone a little bit faster, only being 3 tenths behind. Yeah, please do ignore the silence, because I'm like trying to figure out on this goddamn game how to change the cameras. So, yeah, please do ignore the small silences. It's actually a McLaren, so we've got a mix of McLarens, Lambos, Ferraris, and a few BMWs actually. Yeah, so a few BMWs in the pit lanes. Let's see who hasn't set a lap yet. Let's go on board with Kez Turbo, actually, in the Porsche. It's going to be quite interesting to see what they can do as they're going to come across the line. I believe they're just starting a lap, actually. This is why I need to get off this screen, because I can't see things otherwise. As everything is going to be quite interesting. Nope. Nope, 1 minute return to garage. Confirm. Nope, that doesn't work. Replay will obviously show me a replay. Yeah, I do apologise that I'm botching it, but yeah. In fact, wait a minute, I might have found something here. Wait a minute. I'm in spectator mode. Apologies if I botched this, but I will leave if I do this by accident. Because I'm in spectator mode, if I click... Right. Wait. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. Right, there we go. We've got it sorted now, as I'm going to leave the HUD up on the top right for a little bit so I can get used to it, so my apologies. But there we go. We finally got it sorted. It would... ACC, please make it a bit easier for us to be able to see that. Anyway, we've got it back up and running. We've got the cameras, so let's see what will happen around here, as currently coming through Lesmo 2 is long hair in the BMW, as actually they've invalidated a lap time, so that's fun. Quite a lot of people invalidating actually, as currently up on the lap time is Jay Fellow in the McLaren. So we will stick with them for now and see what they can do as we ride on board in the good old cockpit. As honestly, this is one of the reasons why I love GT cars, because you get beautiful camera angles like this. As thank you for the follow, Stand for Justice. Thank you for the follow this evening. Qualifying still underway with 4 minutes to go, as everything seems to be a bit more interesting. As yes, I apologise for taking so long to get on this screen. It's just because ACC needs to make a few things easier for those of us who run daily on 2 brain cells. As Jay Fellow in the McLaren still trying to make his way around the track. Currently, I believe that is a BMW, or it's either a BMW or a Porsche in front of him. I believe it's a Porsche, so we'll have to wait and see. Currently, in-game time is 11 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. Real life time for me is 11:15 at night. Yeah, I'm up late doing this. But again, I stay up late every single night, so it doesn't really mean much. As Jay Fellow currently still on a lap time, going to be going around the track. 1 minute 33 currently. Last lap time was 1 minute 49. He's currently on his 5th lap, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do. As Jay Fellow, yeah, that's definitely a Porsche in front of him. I definitely believe that's a Porsche in front of him. As Jay Fellow's going to come across the line and improve up to 6th with 1 minute 49.1. There we go, we got the off-board. We got the off-board, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to see who else is on track right now. Farrell is in the pit lane. Mash Taco in the Lamborghini, number 919 or 919. Currently coming through Escari, and not Escari, Parabolica, my apologies, as he's going to come across the line. However, he has invalidated that lap. He was down on that lap time, so we will have to wait and see what he will have to do on the next lap, as I do believe that was not a great lap time. So we'll have to wait and see who else is further around the track. As you know what, we'll go... No, he's invalidated. What about this man? Hushed Webb. We'll have to wait and see what they can do. As a quick question for you guys. Do I have a very heavy northern accent? Because some people say I do. And coming through the Lesmo corners right now. And it's going to be... And it's going to be quite interesting to see what will happen in the race as well. Of course, Monza being, I believe, the fastest track just after Le Mans for GT and LMP cars. So quite interesting there, as it is actually the fastest track for Formula 1 cars. So that makes everything quite a bit more interesting as we now look at the McLaren 720S. Number 23 on the car, silver rated, 1 minute 28 left in this qualifying session in the rookie series of XCL here at Monza. Hushed Webb is now going to come around Parabolica, and we were waiting to see what they can do. They've got a very nice livery, if I must say so myself, and personally I'm a very big sucker for liveries. Attented Genie, thank you for the follow. You're having a lovely evening watching this rookie series, as Hushed Webb is going to come across the line, 1 minute 51.2. P19 for them, as glow stakes in the Mercedes. Actually, that was that a Sky Sports livery? We hate Sky Sports in the north of the UK. Okay. Nobody likes Sky Sports up here. Plus, to put everything behind a paywall. As Jesus, it's only qualifying, lads. You don't need to be battling like that. As you know what, Illuminato currently P7. We'll see what they can do next, as everything is going to be quite a bit more interesting as he heads through the Lesmo corners, and we will go on board with them to see what they can do as they cripple under the pressure and go into the walls, definitely picking up damage right there. As currently on the bonnet of the cars, apologies if I am too loud. If I am, please just tell me to shut up. As Kletorp, thank you for the follow. Apologies if I mispronounced that, as qualifying will now come to an end as the checkered flag now falls across the pit lane, meaning that if you're on a lap, these are your last laps to get in. Drone Lander, we'll have to wait and see what they can do. The car in front of them as well is going to have quite an interesting race here, as if you do finish further back, you've got two options: either stay where you are, or you continue up the grid and continue to dominate, heading around the final corners as we see, as everybody's just going to head off. Actually, coming to the line, we were on board with 94, he goes fourth. Fourth for 94, as sounded like a bit of a bingo person then, as we're going to look through the grid, as we actually are going to go on board with Fea, who is in the Ferrari, as they now invalidate their lap time actually, so they are not going to improve from P18. What about Pat Winner currently coming through Parabolica, looking to improve on that lap time, possibly get pole. They are up, they are down, they are about the same, so they will not improve, and that is qualifying over. On pole position will be Alpi, setting an absolute stonker of a lap at the start of the session with 1 minute 47.6. Behind them it's then Hope Blue, Bulbasaur 94, Pat Winner, J Fellow, Machine Gun, Statleono, Illuminato and Glow Stakes rounds out the top 10. It's then Nakurum, Davis, Wilski, Dwayne, Ned, Snaggy, Daniel, Fea, Hushed, and Farrell, and for some reason I cannot look down the rest of the order. So that's fun. That's very fun. Yeah, so that's your qualifying order, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the race is going to be quite an interesting race, and honestly, it's going to be an experience for me, considering it's my first time commentating on a GT series. Of course, thank you for tuning in. If you have, I'm your newest commentator. My name is Alexi. I'm from the north of England, so some people say I've got a very heavy northern accent, but hey, at least I don't sound Scouse. Okay, right, that's a joke, guys. That's a joke, by the way. I have family who are Scouse. Okay? If you don't know what Scouse is, Liverpool area, Merseyside. We're better than the Manx, okay? Nobody take offence to that, it's a joke. As I'm just going to mute up real quick to have a quick drink before the race gets underway. So, yeah, I'll just be quiet for a second. So, yes, of course, in the GT series, very different to Formula 1, you don't have laps, you have time. So, of course, the free practice, which sadly I couldn't get set up for in time because I had got a bath, was 10 minutes. Qualifying was 15 minutes, which I did start out a little bit late because, apologies, I had to link my Twitch channel back to my actual Xbox. And then the race is a solid 30 minutes. Meaning that 30 minutes is still quite a lot, because if you look at an F1 league, they only do 50%, and those races do go for about 45 minutes. So a 30-minute race is actually still quite a good amount of time. We'll go through the qualifying order once again. If you are just tuning in, of course it will only be the top 19, considering the game is only doing that for me. Actually, there we go. I can finally scroll down the order. So, Alpi will start on pole, followed by Hope Blue, Bobson, 94, Pat Winner, J Fellow, Machine Gun, Stallion, Illuminato, and Glow Stakes will round out your top 10. It's then Nicoloem, Davis, Whiskey, Dwayne, Ned, Snaggy, Daniel, Thayer, Hushed, Farrell, Longhair, Richie, Saxon, Mosh Taco, Man, because I do not feel like mispronouncing that, Kez Turbo, Drone Lander, and MXS will round out the grid as the session will start in just under 3 minutes time. So just under 2 minutes left to go before the actual main race starts. Apologies about that little pause there and that little bit of quiet as everything does try to get underway. The drivers will finalise their setups and prepare for the race. We may see it's GT series, so I don't expect to see too many pit stops. But of course, if you get damage, you might have to make a few pit stops. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what will happen overall. Once again, I do tell you, if I'm a bit too quiet for you, then I do apologise. If I'm a bit too quiet, a bit too loud, please do tell me, and I will either move my mic further away from my mouth, or I will just go to the settings and turn myself up or down, because I can do that on Xbox. But, so 1 minute, just over, literally, okay, I'm just going for it. And 1 minute left to go before the race starts. I'm not yet able to click drive because, yay! Who would have thought that would happen? As the Monza circuit, I would get some facts up, but I do not have any prepared. Of course, I know a few. Fastest track on the Formula 1 calendar. Second fastest in the GT series, unless you go to fastest in the GT series as well. Unless a series has commands, as you just heard the race engineer, 30 seconds to go, and thank you for that info, actually, Stand for Justice. I'm going to be honest, I literally joined the league yesterday, so that is going to be interesting as we will look down the grid to see who is going to have the best start. As we look, they can ignore driver swap, I hope. Oh well, we just got told one pit stop required for fuel, as we will go, I think, unless it's a formation lap. There might be. Yes, there is. I thought so. Honestly, I like this. We don't get this in F1 leagues because the game's goddamn glitched. So you can't do formation lap. So, like, I like that because, unlike the F1 game, it's glitched. So we do have a formation lap here, thankfully, as Alpi will lead the charge, Alpi will lead the charge here on the formation lap, as it is a rolling start for GT. So that is going to be quite interesting as well. Of course, all drivers having to go double file in GT. Honestly, yeah, then rolling start, I thought so. Honestly, Formula 1, you see GT, you should adopt these. Honestly, this is my first time doing a GT series commentary, and I already like it, so that's good. Well, like, while we're here, formation lap, let's just go through this. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the XCL Rookie Series. We are currently doing a Monza race, so everything will, of course, be happening by rookies. Kind of self-explanatory. But, of course, another rookie to this is myself, is Alexi. If you don't know me, I do commentary in a Formula 1 league, VF1, but I'm a rookie to commentary in the GT series scenes as well. Of course, this is my first ever league, being XCL for the rookie series, so it's kind of fitting in my opinion. I'm from the north of England, if you can't tell by my accent. Then again, over here in England, we do have, the accent does change every 30 miles. So, yeah, quite interesting, and volume is good. Thank you very much. One required. So, here we go, trying to get the rolling start underway, as that is a very weird glitch on the screen. That is going to be quite interesting. And of course, with a pit stop for fuel, you've got to wonder, what's the difference going to be, as some people may do other pit stops as just trying to look with the leader as we go on board with him actually while we're here. So of course, round about here, just before Parabolica, the drivers will look to get into their correct positions, going double file overall in general, as beautiful shot here. Well, some do double file, some do single file. I believe we got single file here. Good race for a first, lol. Tier 1 chaos, any guesses? Honestly, it's okay, yeah, there we go, there's the double file. Good race for a first, lol. Yeah. Turn 1 chaos, any guesses? Yes, there's gonna be absolute carnage because it's Monza. Doesn't matter what type of series it is, it's Monza. There's gonna be carnage at turn 1, and if there's not, then I give him props. I give him severe props because it's Monza. Honestly, Monza does get slandered. Monza does get slandered, and I'm from the north of England, so I'm gonna slander it. Honestly, get used to this on my commentary, because I usually have a partner, but I don't. But I'm gonna go away from that now, and we're gonna focus on the racing. Coke Blue and Alpi are gonna be side by side as they wait for the green light here at Monza.
Green light, go, go, go.
The green light is on, and away they go. Heading down into turn 1, of course, everybody is going to be going wheel to wheel, side by side, trying to get up those positions. Alpi decides to drive away. I'm going to try focus on everything, but of course that's going to be hard, as Alpi currently looking to keep this turn 1 nice and clean. The leaders keep it nice and clean. I believe that is Bulbasaur round the outside at turn 1 and 2. Luke gets a bit of contact, gets half spun in my opinion, as J Philo is going to look to get the move done, as he's going to go, as we go inside, trying to look to get it done, as we look down the grid actually, as we go right to it, machine gun, absolutely decimating the guy in front of him. So turn 1 wasn't chaos, but going through with Curb de Glande, definitely chaos, as we're going to try look back towards the start of the grid, as I hate this camera angle. Please give us some realistic camera angles, thank you very much. As we look now, as there we go, that's the correct one, as everyone will try to go wheel to wheel, side by side, as actually, my apologies, while we're away, Kez Turbo has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. As, nope, the game is just being awkward. Okay, Oh, yeah, right, I forgot. It doesn't update till lap 1. Until end of a lap. All right, okay. Yeah, this is weird. I need to get used to this. My apologies. As Alpi is just heading further and further away as he is going to go round Parabolica to start the second lap of this Grand Prix. As wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side through Parabolica is going to be J-Fellow and Illuminato, as they're going to try to get past each other. As actually Illuminato pulls into the pit lane. That's going to be to go for your fuel, so he has gone for the clear strat of starting with low fuel and going up to the top. It's actually, he's got a yellow, so I believe that may mean he's got damage, but honestly, still need to get used to these. As you see, Glow stayed there. He tries to get past the McLaren. That's the Ferrari, actually. That's a Ferrari, actually. My apologies. The Ferrari of Davies takes advantage as the car. That'll be a first, I believe. Are we going to get a PlayStation driver on the podium today? That'll be a first, I believe. Honestly, it's my first time here, so I'll believe anything. Not really. Don't take advantage of me. I'm not very gullible, thank you very much. As Jay and Davies trying to go battling with each other. As we're going to try look to Davies, as for some reason the game is just like, yeah, no, not today, mate. As the UI being awkward again. Crossplay just enabled 2 weeks. Yeah, crossplay did get enabled a few bits ago. As Hope Blue is out, as Alpi just leads. For some reason, it keeps on jumping between the drivers. Honestly, I still need to get used to it, so I do apologise. As currently on board with J-Fellow, what's it going to be for this man? As we currently actually see on board of him, looking all over the place. There we go. That's the rear ring. That is the rear wing one. What you want? As what I think everybody wants. As currently off board with him as well. He's still got that Ferrari behind him. Both currently inside the top 5 though. Thank you very much. To be fair, honestly, I've been doing commentary for practically a year now. I did take a break. I did just usually do, as actually many drivers are getting lapped right now. Of course, that being either for damage or they started with low fuel because a pit stop is required for fuel, and they have gone and decided to have low fuel at the start and high fuel. Have low fuel at the start and high fuel towards the end. However, in my opinion, if the pit stops are going to be like they are and it's just for fuel, I would be going from 30 minutes all the way through to 10, and then for those final 10 minutes, I would go with as low fuel as I could to then have an absolute stonker of each lap towards the end, hopefully trying to make up those positions that, of course, you did lose. As with any car, less fuel you have in the car, faster it's going to go. As, there we go. And actually, Hope Blue, trying to get a good camera angle here. Currently on board, I believe he is actually slowly catching up to 94, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens here as they head down to Ascari. Of course, drivers not catching up as quickly as in Formula 1 cars. One thing what I will still have to get used to, as actually what I was saying may be actually contradictory right there, because he's got the slipstream, he's got the run on him, looking to get it done. He's going to look for it around the outside, maybe. The McLaren and the Ferrari looking to go right at each other. 94 versus Hope Blue. Hope Blue in the blue. Fair enough. Splash and dash as here we go, heading down towards turn 1. If you're in a Formula 1 car, you might dive around down the inside. If you're in a GT car, you might dive around the outside. The Ferrari versus the McLaren. You see this rivalry all the time in real life. Hope Blue goes and cuts the corner. You got to wonder if he will be given a time penalty for that, as he actually has to give the position back. J-Fellow still behind them, 0.4 gap between 94 and Hope Blue again. Hope Blue will continue to try hammer on the driver in front of him as Machine Gun, as we've actually got a driver in the pit lane. That is Snaggy Path, actually, I believe, as we're going to head down to turn 1. as Glow Stakes trying to close in on the driver in front of him, actually. So quite a few battles happening all over the track. Of course, it's a bit harder to keep up with the game being the game, and only let me select a certain amount of people. So once again, I do apologise for that, as we're going to see the offboard. I believe that Keelosaurus or Bulbasaurus has actually. Please tell me we get. I'm going to try get back to... There we go, 94, wheel to wheel, side by side, as they head through Ascari. You don't see that. I've never seen that before, and I watch Formula 1, and I commentate on Formula 1 usually. What is this? As 94, battling wheel to wheel, side by side with Hope Blue right there. Hope Blue still unable to get past that Ferrari in front of him. Of course, you see this rivalry everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's happened in real life, and now it's happening again. Of course, the more popular one and the more famous one being Ford versus Ferrari back in the good old days, as some people would say, or as some people would say, back in my day. But no, it's modern day, it's modern racing, and Hope Blue is 0.3 seconds behind, and he's going to have to try and close up. But they also have to be beware of the person in the car that looks like a Pokemon. Keelosaurus, or as many call him, Bulbasaurus, in the Honda. It looks like he's actually going to go for a move here on the McLaren, as we're going to try and get a good view of this, maybe. There we go, I missed it. Okay, there we go. As we're going to look from the rear wing of 94, as they might have gone into the chicane, looking to get it done, but of course it didn't happen. Of course, many things happening there in the previous years. Main ones to think about in F1, because I still need to do my research on GT. It is, of course, many things happening around this track. Of course, the infamous, he won in Spa, he wins in Monza. Charles Leclerc wins the Italian Grand Prix. Of course, the year later, he would go into the barrier at, I believe, Curva Grande. It was either Curva Grande or Parabolica, because Daniel Ricciardo would also do the same after winning in 2020. And RIP to Lando Norris, because all his teammates have won races before him, and I do not want to hear anything from people saying that a sprint race isn't the proper race, because realistically you can have two races in GT and it's still a race, as the two cars, a little bit of contact there maybe, or maybe a little bit of wheel spin, as Hope Blue still trying to get past the 94. Of course, both drivers still on the podium. The slipstream is very useful though, as Hope Blue is either a game being a glitch or he's just flashing his headlights. If it was in the Cars universe, it would be a very different story. I'm looking at you, Cars 1. But as we head now through these final corners, this battle between Hope Blue and 94, it allowed the Bulbasaurus to come into the scene, but now it's also allowed for Jay Fellow to arrive on the scene. So it's going to be quite interesting, as I believe we have a few DNFs all over the place, as looking at the rear wing of this driver right here, which is Wilski. As looking back at Alpi, actually, he's just driven off into the distance. 8-second gap to the battle what's happening behind him, is in fact he's actually lapped a car, as Jay Fellow gives us a nice view to what's happening in front of him. As there we go, Hope Blue, that's the camera angle we wanted. When you do fuel, it will go to 30 seconds pit stop. Sorry I missed that message earlier, but thank you for that message. Honestly, advice is great and I really do appreciate it, as Hope Blue still third, heading through Ascari. I believe the McLaren does have a slight advantage around here at Monza, but of course the setup on the driver can mean quite a lot, as the Ferrari messes up. 94 loses the position, Hope Blue takes advantage, Hope Blue up to P2. As I just ran that entire sentence, goddamn. As Keelosaurus actually took advantage there. You can see on the timing board on the left hand side, as yeah, either a pit stop or a DNF just pulling in the pit lane, as the Bulbasaurus currently P3, 94 behind him, yellow flags up ahead, but looking off board, he will have a driver behind him of 94. So honestly, these liveries are looking very fancy, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. Of course, being a Pokemon fan, I can also notice when a few cars look like Pokemon, especially this Honda, because it looks like a Bulbasaur. Look, I'm a nerd, okay? I think I'm a nerd, okay? We all are. We play racing games. We're all nerds, let's be honest. And there is nothing wrong with being a nerd, because it just means you're smart about things. You don't have to be good at maths or English. Trust me, I'm in college. I'm in my second year of college, and I failed English 3 times. Yeah, that says something when you think about it. As we're still looking at Kilosaurus in the Bulbasaurus of a car, probably going on board, stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lanes for the 299 car further down the grid. As we've currently got 159 versus 88 trying to battle for that position in P2. 94, 2.3 seconds behind. He's now losing out on the drivers in front of him. 0.4 second gap between Hope Blue and Bulbasaurus. In my opinion, what's going to make this quite interesting is who is going to pull into the pit lane first, as Hope Blue and the gap still stays there. But of course, like I said before, the McLaren having that slight advantage round here, meaning that through Ascari as well as a setup means that he can get a gap as he heads through Ascari. But this Honda seems to have a bit more advantage on the straights from what I've just seen there, unless there is a car in front of Hope Blue. There might be a bit of dirty air there being thrown up from the diffuser of the cars. Actually, we wondered who was going to come into the pit lane. Kilosaurus is going to pull into the pit lane. So will the Ferrari behind him. As actually, no, it's not a Ferrari. That is a McLaren. My apologies. I thought that was a lap car. But of course, it wasn't. Kilosaurus now pulls into the pit lane. It's going to be quite interesting to see what will happen there. Of course, I really wish there was an animation in this game so you could see what was happening. But of course, that would take up precious energy from the game, and we don't want to do. We don't want that. We want to see the racing action. As Kilosaurus, the man who pulled into the pit lane out of the battle from second, now leaves the pit lane, and you gotta wonder, is the blue man gonna take that as a warning and pull into the pit lane? As we're currently looking at 94 right now, as we go on board with him into the cockpit as he heads through the Lesmo corners. Of course, approaching that halfway mark of the race, with it being 16 minutes left of the session. Everything overall will be quite interesting as he goes wide out that corner, of course keeping it on the curb, not going into the gravel. You dip a tire into the gravel, your car's most likely going to spin. Then again, that's F1 cars, they are fragile, they are brittle, and after all, that is a big word for a car that is so fragile. And if you get that reference, you're a good person and you watch good movies. I don't care what people say, Cars 2 was a good movie. As 94 is going to look to maybe pull into the pit lane, as we're going to look on the timing board on the left hand side. 6.2 seconds behind Hope Blue is 94. 6 seconds now as the gap begins to close. As is Hope Blue going to be pulling into the pit lane? Look on the left hand side, looking on the timing board, as I believe he stays out unless he does not. As I believe he has stayed out, but 94 will pull it into the pit lane.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
As the race engineer tells us, we're already halfway through. Thanks, race engineer. I already said that. Not like the game can hear me. As 94 pulls into the pit lane. As it's actually going to be quite interesting to see if the leader has pulled into the pit lane yet. Has decided what is happening in the other race. Everything is... No idea. Okay, just looked at the wrong chat. My apologies, as Daniel Faz has to... Actually, no, it's GT. I don't think he has to let him pass. It's a blue light. He might have to, but he might not. I don't know. I'm still going to have to get used to it. My apologies. But 94, as Daniel will let 94 pass. 94 will emerge back onto the track in 9th position. So still top 10 from a good... No, it's not F1. Yep, thought so. Thought so. I just thought so. Anyways, Yeah, I thought so. You don't actually have to let them pass. They have to get past you themselves. So, there we go. Honestly, F1 should take more inspiration from other series. Because, like, the other series actually have decent things that make things decent racing. Like, F1, come on, what are you doing, guys? And honestly, I'm not going to lie, F1, I believe, should be I believe F1 should be equal cars. Call me what you will. Call me Fernando Alonso or Kimi Raikkonen. But, you know, people have their opinions, as 94 is currently in 9th position. So that makes sense, as I'm going to try find this man, actually. As Wilski is going to stay out again. I don't know if he's made a pit stop yet. He might have. Currently P3 in that very nice looking Porsche. I must say so myself. Equal cars, in my opinion. F1 should be equal cars, like F2 and F3. Like F2 and F3, it should be equal cars. Call me Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen all you want. But, like, you know. Well, there is arguments for both. Fair, there is arguments for both, because people say, oh yeah, you sent up to F1 after F2, but you're going from equal cars to non-equal cars, and if you just get pushed into a shit team, AlphaTauri, you heard nothing. But it's not really fair, in my opinion, if you know what I'm on about. I don't even know what I'm talking about F1 here in the GT series. I've been commentating on F1 for like a year. Okay, I need to get into this. I need to get used to everything. I need to get used to everything, as actually Wilski is going to be battling the car in front, who he is currently lapping, as they head down towards Ascari as we approach that 10-minute remaining mark. Wilski currently P3, as I'm still getting used to this, so I'm going to ask for advice again. What does it mean when the thing next to the number is... Yeah, you know, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, honestly, that's what I mean. Like, there's arguments for both. There's arguments for both in Formula 1, because you can go with that and, like, yeah, exactly. Like, there's arguments for both, as Wilski will pull his car into the pit lane, looking to get some fuel. And, yeah, like you said, like, especially with teams like Red Bull. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, honestly, I would really love... Yeah, it was originally a thing for manufacturers, but now it's just a battle between teams. But, like, that's the thing, what I like, but I also hate. I like the fact that it's a battle between teams, and you got to build the best car and everything. But I also hate that it's not equal, because if it was equal, then it would allow for better battling, and it really comes down to the setups, etc. And it would make more sense due to what happens in, of course, the step up from Formula 2. So there really is an argument for both, but we're going to go back to this now. We're going to try focus on everything, as Hushed Webb is currently getting lapped by the race leader of Alpi. As I'm going to ask for a little bit of an answer here. What does it mean on next to the number when it's... What does it mean next to the number where it's orange and 1? Does that say they've made a pit stop, or they've still got a pit stop to do? Like, obviously I'm trying to learn everything, as new fastest lap was actually set by Alpi as well, 1 minute 47.7. Alright, thanks. So, yeah, everything really going on right now, as... Yeah, I see what you mean now, because J Fellow has made a pit stop. Yeah, right. Cheers for that, yeah. I thought so, but I was like, I've seen these people pit, but I've seen these people not pit. Now these guys are green, so I'm like, is it for penalties, or is it just because you got 1 pit stop remaining? Thought so, cheers. Honestly, Clopto, I am so sorry, as actually car 93 gets I believe that was a stop and go penalty. So where's the leader actually? So Alpi still needing to make that pit stop, and he's currently in the lead. 17-second gap to Hope Blue, who also still has to make a pit stop. That'll be speeding in the pit lane. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't really surprise me. You can't slow down the car quicker in GT cars than you can Formula 1. So I do know that quite a lot of people, since Crossplay has come out on ACC, have actually switched from the F1 game over to the good old ACC, which of course is better for sim racing action, as Dwayne is a lapped car. He doesn't have to let him pass, but he stays over to the left-hand side. Don't want to move on the braking. Alpi overtakes and laps him, as Alpi still needs to make a pit stop as well, as we are now at the 7-minute 50 mark remaining in this race. So everything will be a bit more interesting. Do you race yourself or just comms? The thing is, I used to race. Like, I used to race in F1 leagues. I used to run an F1 league and everything. But ever since I got the F123 game, last game I raced on was Project Cars 2, because I didn't have the new F1 game for quite a bit, because I've got to buy my own things now that I'm 18. I've got to buy my own games. Yay! Adult stuff. But that was what happened. And I was racing. I was in a really low tier, but I got to the point, because I'd been doing commentary before I came back, whilst I was racing, before I couldn't get the games on F122. Honestly, I was racing since F1 2019, towards the end of that game. And I got this game, raced for about 2 months, and then I was like, yeah, I like racing and all, but commentary is just like one of those things which I feel like has always just clicked for me. If you get what I'm saying? Like, racing for me, it doesn't feel proper for me. Probably doesn't have that I'm on controller, but because I'm on controller, but like, commentary's always just clicked for me. Fair enough. Well, you know where like racing just clicks for you, or rallying just races for you? When something just clicks for you, that's what it was like for commentary for me. Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I could talk for hours. That's not even a joke. I will always find like the most minuscule things as actually I missed that. Like, honestly, even when I'm on my own or something's happening, I can talk for hours. Like, honestly, don't even ask me. Like, honestly, if somebody asks me, and this, honestly, this will, I am literally a nerd. Like, I'm not even joking. I joked to my brother about it, saying, I'm not a nerd. Joseph, yes, you can turn my light off. That's my younger brother I have to speak to. I have to share a goddamn room with him, even though I'm goddamn 18. Jokey, shut my door, please. Thank you. As we now approach the 5-minute mark, Alpi still has time to pit. But for me, it's just like, don't even get me started on FNAF lore. I'm too much of a nerd for it. I will ramble on about F1 for hours on end. Not F1, Five Nights at Freddy's, that's what I was saying. Five Nights at Freddy's, I will ramble on for hours. Hours! That's not even a joke. Like, I literally will. I know the entire FNAF lore like the back of my hand. And yes, everything is about speculation and over. Right, you know what? See what I mean? See what I mean? I just start talking about it as Alpi still needs to make the pit stop. Come on, Alpi, make a pit stop, mate. But, like, nah. Commentary for me has always just clicked. Neither. I'm not Max or Lewis. I'm a Seb fan. But, if we're going to talk about Max or Lewis, I'm going to be honest, and if nobody can agree with me, then that's fine, but you're wrong. Lewis, in 2021, Lewis deserved Abu Dhabi. But Max deserved the championship. If you look at the amount of DNFs, comebacks, drives, yes, Lewis had those drives at Brazil and Saudi Arabia. Yes, they were good. But if you look at consistency, compared to when they didn't finish races, Max had the better season. Max had way more DNFs, way more struggles, and yet he won the championship. Yeah, well, that was a few years ago now. Like, Lewis deserved Abu Dhabi and got taken out on Corps. Yeah, and got taken out on Cops. Like, that's the thing. People say, oh, Lewis took Max out. Max turned in on him. It's the same thing what happened at Monza. If you look at it correctly, I'll talk about Cops first because you brought it up. With Cops, Lewis, there's a slight little braking zone. Slight braking zone to go through Cops' corner. Yeah, they're both DNF at Monza. But the thing is with Cops, you have to let off or have a slight braking zone. And Lewis, Max was approaching that slight braking zone. Lewis went up the inside. Max has the right to take that corner. Lewis is now in his blind spot, meaning that Max is free to take that corner however he wishes, because he doesn't know that Lewis Hamilton's there. As Alpine pulls into the pit lane, it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out. But that's what happened there. And Max went into the barrier. So yes, Lewis did take out Max there. But when it comes to Monza, that wouldn't have happened like it did. Because yes, if you look at it and you look at the lines and what happened, Lewis is coming back on the racing line. Lewis is coming out of the pit lane. Max is on the racing line. Max has the racing line to take, but he has to go around the outside. Lewis opens up his steering to force Max off the track. But the thing is, the reason why the car got launched, as we will see it in just a second actually, is that goddamn sausage curb in the middle of the goddamn corner. Because it decided, oh look, a nice car. You know what I'm going to do? Launch your car. And honestly, sausage curbs are absolutely ridiculous. They should just be removed from tracks. Like, there's been many incidents. One, I believe it was Cops here actually. That incident back in 2003. But not in 2003. In F3. Where that car got launched at Parabolica. Yeah, exactly. Only GT Force can take him because of how tall, because of the ground clearance. But sausage curbs should just be banned outright, because when they were introduced, they had a reason to be there because it stopped the cars properly. But modern day racing, they shouldn't be there because they're just a risk. And like, I believe it was I'm trying to think now. I think it was 2022 F2 Britain, where a car got forced off track. I believe it was just before the Vale. The final chicane at Britain. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, like, that was a major incident, and it just kind of proves that they need to be banned. But I'll get back to talking about that in a second, as he's led this entire race. We've got to give this man his props.
The leader is on the final lap.
There is 16 seconds in this race left. As the leader is on the final lap, he is going to take the car all the way round this Monza, this beautiful circuit here in Italy. And if he doesn't mess up his lap, he is going to take the race win in the Rookie Series here at XCL. As I believe it is going to be Popliski who has actually won the race over in, I can't remember it yet. I'm still new to here. Honestly, I've been in the Discord like just over less than 24 hours, and I'm already a commentator, so I'm already a commentator. I've been in the Discord less than 24 hours, so I do need to still get used to things. But Alpi is going to go, and I'm going to get these things off my screen, as Alpi, as we see him now, he is going to go through Ascari. He is going to take that car all the way down to Parabolica in the matte black with the Italian colours suitable for Lamborghini and suitable for Monza as the car in the black, the number 161 on the side in the box. Alpi has dominated this race from pole to the win, not losing a single position and not conceding. Alpi wins the Rookie Series Monza Grand Prix. And I believe, where's he at? J Fellow is going to come home P4. And Hope Blue looked like he was going to overtake at some points. But nope, he has to settle for P2. Hope Blue takes P2. And who as actually it is going to be 94 if I can find it. If I can find them in time. There he is, 94, making his way round the final part. Is the McLaren still OP? Honestly, I have no idea. But to finish off the podium, 94 will come round and take third, getting that final spot on the podium. Car 919 still has a stop and go penalty. As Hope Blue is sat there in the pit lane. Well, he's sat in the pit lane, but he came home. Why does he not have the checkered flag? Neither does Keelosaurus. This is weird. They've just gone back to the pit lane. They haven't even done it. They haven't even done a cool-down lap. Come on, lads. Do a cool-down lap. We love to see it. As Mosh Taco. Stop and go penalty. Come on, man. He has a stop and go penalty. Nobody does that on ACC. Aww. Lads, come on. Give us a spectacle. Give us a cool down lap. Come on. Come on. Give us a cool down lap. We like to see it. As Mosh Taco, I believe he is last right now. Well, he's last at 28. Well, now last at 27. Yeah, exactly. Come on, give us some good old, give us what Project Cars 2 does. Give us a cool down lap. Come on, guys. We want to see it. As Alpi is actually P1. Yeah, Alpi's actually P1. Yeah, like, come on, Kuno. Come on, Kuno, come on, get me in charge. Come on, Kuno, put me in charge. Come on, give us a cool down lap, man. Give us a cool down lap. Corp, thank you for the follow. Of course, oopsie, guess it doesn't like when you exit your box in second gear, lol. I mean, yeah, I could. Yeah, they can do it. Like, I mean, introduce it to the community. Like, yeah. Like, seriously, come on. Like, come on. Come on, game. Come on. Give us interesting. As that is the race over. So, of course, I would like to thank you all for tuning in to the XCL Rookie Series. Honestly, I have no idea when I'll be back. Hopefully soon, because honestly, I love doing this, and it's not too long like F1, unless it's endurance race, but if it's endurance racing, I would love to do that still. But thank you very much for tuning in. hopefully I can work out something on a weekly or daily basis, or whenever I can, because, yeah, I do that. This is, of course, my Twitch channel. If you would like to stick around, hi YouTube as well. I know this is going to get uploaded onto YouTube, so I'm just going to say this real quick. If you would like to... Fun race, yeah. So if you would like to see my normal content, I stream Minecraft and all that. This is my normal Twitch channel. Chill streams also happen on here, but of course, so does my commentary. Of course, first ever time commentating on GT. This has been a great race. Thank you for watching. Good night.